Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Maths Made Easy with Terry in 10 minutes. Like I always say, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that when I post new videos, you'll be the first person to know. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about the 16 rules of integration. I'm going to give you a quick overview of 16 of them. Then in the subsequent videos, I'm going to be discussing each and every one of them, okay? So this video is going to be a very short one. I'm going to just list them so that some of them you're conversant with, some of them you don't know. So just for me to bring everybody to the same pedestal. Is that all right? So the first rule I'm going to talk about is the rule of the constant rule, okay? So the first rule is what they call the constant rule. So I'm going to start with the constant rule from the next video. Then the second rule I'm going to talk about is called the variable rule. Okay, it's called the variable rule. The third rule is what we call the square rule. The fourth rule is what we call the reciprocal rule. Okay. The fifth rule is what we call the exponential rule. Okay. And the exponential rule, we're going to talk about it. There are three types. A raised to power x. We can also talk about a raised to power x, or you can talk about ln x. Okay. So remember, for the laws of indices, the exponential and logarithm as well, I told you that ln x is the same thing as log to base ex. Okay. So that's why I see how the exponential rule. Then number six, the sixth rule we're going to talk about is what we call the trigonometry rule. Okay, so how do you integrate trigonometry? All right. I'm going to talk about how to integrate cosine. Okay. I'm going to talk about how to integrate sine. I'm going to talk about how to integrate sec squared. Okay. And also, I'm going to talk about other trig derivatives. So other trigonometry derivatives. All right. Then number seven, um, I will talk about how do you do multiplication by a constant. Okay, so how do you integrate c f of x or something like this? Okay, if you are integrating a constant. Then I'm going to talk about number 8. Another rule that I'm going to talk about is what we call the power rule. All right, the power rule is one of the conversant one, like integrating x raised to power n, something like this. Then number 9, I'm going to talk about the sum rule. Okay. Number 10, I'm going to talk about the difference rule. Okay. Number 11, which is an implied rule. Okay, number 11, but just because some students would prefer everything to be spelled out for them, so that's why I'm going to add this one as well. It's called integrating simple fraction. Uh, so it's called integrating simple fractions. Okay. So that is that. Then I'm going to talk about 12. So rule 12 to 16, I'm going to discuss it in another different video series called further integration. So 12 to 16 is going to be in another different video series called further integration. But I'm going to just add it here. So for some of us that want to just know what they are. So the next integration by parts. The 12th one is what we call integration by parts. Okay. Number 13 is what we call integration by substitution. Okay. Number 14 is what we call functions of a linear function. Number 15 is what we call integration by partial fraction. Then number 16 is what we call products of sine x cos x. Okay, so all this will be discussed in the further integration series. So if you want to know about this, so you just go to the YouTube channel and search for further integration. Okay, so I discuss all this there. All right, so this is the basic integration series. So, but 12 to 16 is a little bit advanced. Okay, so I will talk about that in the further integration video series. All right, so this is the 16 rules we're going to talk about in this video. I'm going to talk about the constant rule. I'll talk about the variable, the square, the reciprocal, the exponential rule, the trigonometry rule, multiplication by constants, the power rule, sum rule, difference rule, and integration of partial of simple fraction. While the last 4 or 5, integration of parts, integration by parts, substitution, linear function, partial fraction. I'm going to talk about that later. Is that okay? So if you go to the YouTube channel for the integration series, if you're interested in this 5 integration styles, please go there. I talked about that in detail. Okay. So that is that for that. So the next video, I'm going to go straight to talk about how do we, the constant rule, how do we integrate constants, okay? And so it's very important that you subscribe so that when I upload new videos, you'll be the first person to know. So when I upload a video on constant rule, you'll be the first person to know. And don't forget to click the notification bell. So I'm going to see you soon, and I'll see you in the next video where we talk about the constant rule.